If you were to travel west of the White House in Washington, D.C., you would find yourself in the neighborhood of Foggy Bottom, nicknamed for the dense morning mist created by the nearby Potomac River. The neighborhood was also a center for the gas and brewery industries in the 19th century, whose factories' pollution blanketed the neighborhood, adding to its already foggy atmosphere. Originally founded as the town of Hamburg in 1763 by German-American Jacob Funk, it eventually became part of Washington, D.C., with the remaining German heritage evident at the United Church on the intersection of G and 20th Street. Over the next century, the neighborhood maintained its immigrant roots, drawing both German and Irish working-class settlers to its industrial factories. Sadly, the lack of housing across D.C. forced these settlers to establish makeshift villages and homes within the narrow alleys of Washington, D.C.'s grid layout. This persisted in the aftermath of the Civil War, drawing numerous former slaves to the nation's capital, where they too found residence within these cramped alleyway communities. By the turn of the 20th century, the U.S. Health Department intervened to tackle the crime and disease found within these communities, leading to the demolition of almost all alleys in Foggy Bottom.
In New York, you had, tenements. Alleys were DC's equivalent. A lot of the social ills may have been exaggerated by the reformers at the time. They saw it as a dark place where bad things go on.
By 1944, the health and safety hazards posed by Foggy Bottom and its alleys prompted the city to evacuate the entire neighborhood for a complete renovation, with First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt as a central voice in the discussion.
A lot of the destruction of the city alleys, though, happened in the redevelopment, urban renewal period of the 50s, like Southwest, for example. But that wasn't just destroying the alleys, that was destroying everything and dislocating 20,000 people.
From then on, Foggy Bottom has experienced a complete transformation in its identity. Once an industrial center of DC, it has evolved into a cosmopolitan location, boasting top-notch restaurants and housing one of the country's premier political science institutions, George Washington University. This identity reinforced even further with the construction of the Watergate complex on the former site of the Washington Gas Light Company. This complex, functioning like a small city with various shops, quickly became a popular spot for Washington politicians and their lobbyists. Of course, while the Watergate complex served as a representation of Foggy Bottom's cosmopolitan transformation, it would also drag the neighborhood into one of the nation's most infamous political scandals.
That I welcome this kind of examination because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
Still, the Watergate scandal barely affected the neighborhood. Today, Foggy Bottom stands as one of the youngest and safest areas of the District of Columbia. And after breaking records as the most popular metro stop in the city this September, maybe others are finally taking notice of it.